Hello, my name is Cornell Robinson-Cook, and I am a licensed funeral director and embalmer in the state of Georgia and Missouri.
My name is Maurice Robinson-Cook, and I'm a creative art director here in Atlanta, Georgia. How long have we been together?
Been together.
Yeah.
What year is
this
this?
answer.
This is 2021 now. So we've been together a complete 5 years, and we are into year 6. We just started year 6. Yeah, that was 2015.
Exactly. Okay. I had to make sure you got that right.
We met.
I'm gonna take a drink on that one. Wait a minute.
We met at church. I'll say that.
Well, okay, and praise the Lord.
That's the cleanest version. We met at church. I will say that it is no secret. I mean, everybody that knows our story knows that. Well, even besides the story, everybody knows that we are very transparent people.
That's true.
And I'm a firm believer that the truth is the truth.
Correct.
And the truth sets you free. When we met, we were working on a what do you call it? Church plant project. He was single. I was currently married at the time. And we had to work on a project together. And though he tells the story a little differently, though we were working on this project.
It's called the truth.
Though we were working on this project, granted, because I was in that marriage and stuck on, I'm gonna be in this marriage, I'll work it out, whatever that is. He saw something different. It was a good to see something different. I'm glad he saw something different.
Thank you.
But we met working on that project, and the statement was, tell that short stack, because he's short. He's sitting right now, but he's shorter than me. Tell that short stack to do something. I can't remember what it was I was telling him to do, but I was sending a message through a third party to tell him that. And then he said, was that a flirt? Was that? I was just simply saying, tell that short person that you're with that I need this project done right now. That's what I said.
And that's all I'm gonna say.
He took it as something different.
Okay, so now I'm gonna answer the question as to how we met. No, actually, no, you're right. It did go that way, and so I think that. But the one thing I did, he's correct. So Cornell was married, and the one thing I said was, "Well, are you happy?"
That's true. And he did. He did ask that question.
So for everybody out there, I'm gonna say that to you too. You just ask the person. It's okay, because you gotta be ready for the answer. And so, but are you happy?
But pause. Not even just ask that person. I mean, ask yourself.
You ask yourself, are you happy? Like, because you're not happy. And so, because if you was happy, you wouldn't be sitting here talking to me, or you wouldn't be, throwing out this extra energy, so to speak. And I also believe that, your energy enters a room way before you do.
That's true.
And so, if a person is interested in is a vibe type of, you can pick that up. And so, everything that I saw was like, something ain't right in the milk. That's what I said. And so, whatever. All you gotta do is ask. So all a person can say is yay or nay. And so I just think that, you don't necessarily want to go down the history of being a home wrecker, but I also believe that you can ask someone, because if a person isn't happy, then I think in life, we all deserve to be happy. You don't have to buy happiness.
That's true.
You don't have to give up yourself to be happy. Like, it's free. It's the one thing that God gave us. And you cheat yourself when you don't allow yourself to be happy.
I agree.
And
100%.
so we found happiness, and and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I asked the question, because now look at us now, right?
That's true. Look at us now. And I'm glad I guess entertained the question.
Correct. Yeah.
And then also was honest with myself and with what was really going on. Like,
that's good. Yep.
that makes a difference.
See that?
You got to be honest with yourself.
You have to
be honest with yourself.
That's number one.
Number one, if you're not honest with yourself, then you can never be honest with anybody else.
Correct.
And so that's that. I mean, the best thing, I guess, in life, just in everything that happens in life, is you have to be honest with yourself, one.
Correct.
Before you can be honest with somebody else. But as you always say too, like, you have to love yourself first before you can love someone else.
That's right.
RuPaul says it best. How the hell you gonna love yourself?
That's right.
How you gonna love somebody else if you don't
Can't
love yourself?
That's what she said.
And it's so true, because just in everything you do in life, in
Correct.
work, in career, in home, if you're not honest and love this person first, then nobody else matters.
Yeah, I agree.
And what happens is that other person really gets the short end of the stick because you're not really being the authentic you with
Correct.
them.
That's right. Yeah.
Our original wedding date and plans was a week-long excursion to Greece. It was going to be in Athens and Mykonos from May 20th through the 27th. And we're planning maybe 2 years?
Yeah, I think we were planning for 2 years. We had a travel agent. Mm-hmm. We had a wedding plan that planned the event for us, and we actually had a website that was designed for us. We created a logo, and our theme was "Fall for You," which is our theme song for our wedding.
Theme song.
Exactly. Yes, "Fall for You" by Leila James, and we had a website, so everything was really fully functioning. And then COVID. Brought her ass.
Vicious heifer.
Ooh, she messy.
Can't stand her. I can't stand her.
She's a messy
She's ruined
girl.
a lot.
She did.
She's ruined a lot.
Yeah, we don't like her. We don't like her at all. But yeah, but she also brought us closer too.
That's true. That's true. Spent a lot of time together, locked up.
Yeah. Yes.
So we realized we would have to change everything, I guess in the beginning of 2020. Yeah, maybe January, February. We had been planning for a couple of years prior to that. Mm-hmm. And then as things started developing, getting more from CDC, getting more from state requirements, Delta's canceling flights, we realized that maybe we had to do something different.
And also I think that even friends would chime in and say, what are y'all gonna do? Because most folks can't travel, or they were alarmed around if you go out of the country, what happens, if we get stuck or stranded in Greece. And so it became a lot of concerns. So it wasn't just us, but it was all our circle of friends whom we were inviting to the destination wedding too that were raising questions. And so we had to answer that as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
And mainly our parents.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Who were very afraid that we would get over there and then their sons couldn't get back.
Yeah.
There were so many people that after we posted pictures, we started getting text messages and Facebook messages and Facebook posts about the fact that they were not at this Greece party. Well, part of that was because it was during COVID time.
That's right. We had to monitor,
and we had to monitor the comfort of the person's home we were in. And so it was limited to 10 people, which were the people that we were around every day, ourselves, our parents, and my little brother. That was it.
Well, I will say this, not to sound cliche-ish, but like every day with Cornell's a honeymoon. I mean, so the interesting is that like we really enjoy each other's company. And I think that COVID and the isolation helped us out a lot, because like every day we were trapped in a small 1-bedroom apartment with each other. And we have made the best of it. And so we've gotten to know, we already knew each other, but now we know each other even a lot more, because that was our world. Our world was he and I, and that's it. And so for me, it was great. And like I didn't have any anxieties, and so I enjoyed sitting there. Like I learned something like, oh, I didn't know you thought that, or oh, so you do it this way. Or I would watch certain things in the morning, how you get up and what your routine was, because most of the time we're on autopilot. You get up, you get dressed, you go to work, and you leave. Now you don't leave anywhere. So I'm like, oh, so this is what you do. Or he was like, oh, that's what you do. So for me, it was great. And so I think that it allowed us to grow a lot closer, and I got to know him even more. So it really was one of those kind of things that it was a good test for people who say that they love each other and want to be together. Now that's put to the test, because you can't go anywhere but. And when you're in a 1-bedroom apartment of just 900 square feet, like 1 bathroom, that's a lot. And you go, oh, is it my turn in the bathroom? Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I got an incense.
So what? so what normally takes you have your time of 45 minutes to yourself. You got to remember that there's another person that has to use that same 45 minutes, and all of you have to be out of the house in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's
and the other person just started.
Yeah, it's compromise.
But so I don't know if it dampened spirits about getting married, but it did make us reevaluate things, reevaluate, was this whole trip to Greece about everybody else? Was it about us? Was it necessary for it to be for everyone? Or what, did it need to be just a trip about just the two of us? And I think, so whenever we're able to travel safely, then that becomes our honeymoon. And generally honeymoons are just about the couple. And I think that when we're able to have that trip, then it'll just be about us. It won't be about people saying, well, I can't come this day, but I can come this day, or I can't stay the whole week, or why are y'all going to Greece? Well, I can't afford to go to Greece. I got to get a passport. And well, it's really not about you. So it almost made it where we had to eliminate people.
Correct. Yeah.
And not being negative or bad mouthing or even shady. It was just that marriages are not about everybody else. They're the support system. They're the love that pushes it. But at the end of the day, it's really just about the two of us.
That's right.
And so whenever we're able to go get on that plane and pray all the way there and pray that we can get back through into the United States, and there are no walls built, that it will be about us and having that great honeymoon.
I agree, yes. If someone wants to get married under the current circumstances, as we had to think about too, and I think that Cornell just said that earlier, that you have to ask yourself, is this wedding, you marrying this person, is it about you all or is it about these other people? And I think that historically, I think folks would get married and have these huge weddings, but they would be so stressed out as to what was going to the wedding, they never got to enjoy the wedding until later they went back and saw a videotape of it. But like, you're so busy wondering if everybody was okay. And I think that this allows you to see it really is about you two. And so like, it's like, well, yeah, they're invited, but this is about you two. And so you're inviting them into your own private world. So it should really be about the love that you two share with each other. And I think that with our plans, COVID allowed us to do that. It really was about us. And so if you can be a part of this, okay. If not, all right, well, okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
We'll see you later.
Because we're going to still be together.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. We ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that, so yeah, I don't think it changed that. But one of the things I like to tell people, and we always tell a lot of couples when they ask the crazy question like,
that I hate.
Like, well, how did it last? What's the secret? There is no secret. Ain't no secret. The bottom line is that, first of all, you got to meet each other where they're at. I don't try to change him. He don't try to change me. And I think the other two things is that you have to build what works for the two of you all, separate from everybody else. What he and I have in our relationship, I don't know what other people have. It ain't my business to know what y'all have.
That's true.
It ain't your business to know what we have, but it works. Whatever we can, it works. And so we have to be honest around what works for us. That was the secret. So if there was a secret, the secret is that make sure you understand what the two of you all want, and then you work from there.
And then again, I go back to saying that you have to understand that it's just about you.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's the one time to be selfish.
That's the one time you can be
really
selfish.
Be selfish about
and be okay with it.
Yeah. Well, in terms of purchasing a home, as I said earlier, when we could not do our destination wedding trip, we decided let's take this money and go ahead and purchase a home. And we had been talking about a home purchase a couple of years prior till now. I had always been okay with renting. I was a city boy. I wanted to be in a condo in the city. I didn't want a home. I wasn't trying to cut nobody's grass. And so it was all of that I thought was my answer. And so whereas Cornell wanted a home. And so for me, I was okay with renting. But the sad thing was that I think that I was scared because I knew my credit wasn't good. So I didn't want to go through the denial period. So therefore, I just didn't want to go through the whole process. But then we had talked about it and said, no, let's do this. And so we decided we're gonna do that. And I think that it was a great decision. So we decided to get a home. Yeah. And we looked at a certain property that we liked. There were homes that were for sale on the property for folks who had already lived there and were selling their homes. And we looked at those, and at first we were looking at that. And then because we are both spiritual people, we just heard the voice of God say, well, why are you looking at homes from somebody else's that somebody else built when you can build your own?
Right around the corner.
Light bulb.
Right around the corner.
And it was like, and it's like everything is opened up for us. It was a lot that was available. And the developer said, well, there's a lot right there. Why don't you just build your own home? And then that was just God talking to us, like, take that money and build your own home so you can build it to what you want. And that's just what we were able to do.
Yep. So it's being built from the ground up to our specifics, color, doorknobs, floor.
Exactly.
Everything is just how we want it to be, and I'm glad we went that route. The home that we were looking at was beautiful.
Correct.
But it just wasn't ours.
It wasn't ours.
And when we walked on that property, walked on the lot, we knew this is the spot. This spot right here. There was other spots available, but it was that corner property.
Correct.
That they probably don't want you to come back to because one of us, I'm not naming any names, but not the one that's talking now, goes by there every day.
Now we probably should edit the shade. We should edit all the shade that's being driven right now.
Every day. But it's so exciting to see the house. I'll admit, in the beginning, it was just dirt. And the dirt moved from one side to the other. And he would get so excited about the dirt. Well, yesterday the dirt was on this side, and now it's on the left side.
That's right.
It wasn't until the foundation was poured, then I too got that, I guess, bitten by that bug of, okay, let's go today. What are they doing today? I'm sure they did something today. And then once we really started dealing with the contractor, who's an excellent guy, we started dealing with him, then he would start sending emails every week. So then we're like, oh, I wonder what they're doing today. And he didn't send us an email today, but I'm sure they're doing something because every day we go by there's something new. There's grass, there's roses, there's light bulbs. So it just seeing everything that we spent 4 or 5 hours planning to see that actually going up and to see the paint and it really is exciting.
It is.
And though COVID happened, or the pandemic of coming in, it changed a little bit. So it has been delayed. I'll be very transparent. It has been delayed, and sometimes that is damping of spirits because dates keep changing. But it is what it is. With supplies, it's hard to get supplies now. They told us when we sat through that 5-hour conference, it's only supposed to take 3 months, but you can't get wood right now. You need wood to build a house.
Yeah.
So it's taking longer, but the fact that it's ours, we know it, and we're seeing it being birthed and then being implemented, it's great.
Yeah, that is true. Well, I think that if there was a certain recipe for a relationship to work, to sustain, and to be prosperous, I think the first thing, it is honesty. And I think that honesty gets a bad rap because people just say it becomes a loose topic, honesty.
Yeah.
What does that really mean?
What does it mean?
Honesty means doing the work. Honesty, you're never finished. It's an ongoing process. I learn something new every day about Cornell, every day, when I'm honest. Because honesty starts with me first. What's triggering my buttons? Because honesty only happens when you're vulnerable. Like, it really is, it's on you. Like, why, you answer the question, you have to answer, why did I answer it that way? Because this is about you now. This ain't got nothing to do with the other person. And you have to be okay with understanding that you need work too. And so I think that I feel like any successful relationship should have a therapist. You should go to counseling.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
I just think it's necessary because it don't mean anything's wrong, but a third party helps you understand what you're about to get involved in. And it also helps you to see more of yourself because the person that you have dedicated yourself to is a mirror reflection. They really are you.
Yeah.
They represent maybe what you don't have, what you might be lacking in, what you want. They also may show you the things about yourself that you don't necessarily like, and that's why they can hit those buttons. And you get upset, but that's you though. That's how you would do. And so I think that when you're honest with yourself and you pay attention to that, you'd be surprised how enriching your relationship can be when you look at it at that level. And then you look into the eyes of that person and you say, oh wow, I love you because I see myself in you. And I see how you rescued me and how you helped me to love me to another level. And I think that what we've been able to see is that like Cornell helps me to love Maurice so much better. Yeah. And like I couldn't love him like I do if I didn't love me.
That's exactly it. Honesty and again, loving yourself and then just being vulnerable. Like even that gets a bad rap. About being vulnerable is not about being weak.
Yeah.
It's just about being transparent and free.
Correct.
To accept everything that comes your way or to acknowledge everything that comes your way and then just sit with that. And it's okay to be upset. It's okay to not be okay, but it's also even better to have that person that's sitting next to you to know something's not right. Like, I can tell that something is bothering you. You don't have to talk about it right now. As a matter of fact, don't talk about it right now, but just know that I'm here if you want to talk about it. One of the things that we do all the time is when we start talking or venting or complaining, the first question we ask each other is, am I just listening?
Correct.
Or are you wanting me to respond?
Check
Because and we call it our check-in. Sometimes the person you're talking to, they don't want a response from you. They just need to get all of this off their chest.
Correct.
And then they go in and cook, or they go in and eat. Like that's the end of it. Like, I didn't ask for your response. I didn't ask for your advice. I don't need that right now. All I need to do is get this out of me so that I can move on. Because right now it's just sitting here in my chest, and it's aggravating. Now that I'm done talking about it, okay, let's go for pizza. let's do anything. But then there are times where I really do need somebody to bounce this off of, and I really only want the person that's closest to me, the person that sees me in everything that I do, that experiences everything about me. Your partner, your spouse, your lover is that person that, if you have a great relationship with your family, they're more important than your parent, than your child. They are. We have a big, strong faith life. They are right there, almost next to God, because you bounce everything off of them. Like, you trust them with your life. It's everything about you and your life. It comes through them.
Correct.
They know everything about you if you're honest with yourself and with them, and if you love yourself and them. Like, there's nothing that you can go through that you can't tell them first.
Exactly.
Or that you can't experience with them.
And I also think that, as a summary, I think that one thing I was taught a long time ago, and I say it to this day, to anybody who will listen, two things: learn to listen and listen to learn. That, if there's a secret about anything, that's what you need to learn. Learn to listen, and then you listen because you'll learn. Sometimes people tell you a whole lot of stuff about what they don't say. You can learn a lot about a situation about what ain't being talked about. You can sit there and say, I done sat with you for 2 hours.
He said that.
Here's 3 things you ain't talked about: molestation, some kind of abuse, or lying.
But you went through all of that.
But that's your issue. You don't talk about anything else. It's so like, okay, so if I'm listening, I realize the things you ain't talking about is what hurts you the most, because you didn't check in around that. So as soon as I ask that question, here I can feel the energy, I can feel the resentment, I can feel the pushback. And so I think that if you're interested in somebody, you have to learn to listen to learn. And you have to listen to what people don't talk about. The things that we don't talk about is the stuff that we struggle with, so we don't talk about it.
The thing that you always say that I like is about go around your partner's friends.
Ooh, yes, that was number 2.
And family.
That's right.
Because they'll tell you everything.
They tell you everything.
Everything that your partner is not saying,
Yep.
when you get around their friends and their family,
Yep.
the family and friends will tell it for them.
Correct.
They'll never say it, but the friends say, you remember that time when we was out and we was strung out and we was in jail? And their partner's like, you was in jail?
You was in jail? When that happened?
You ain't never told me.
Yep.
But they don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know that image you portraying. They telling the truth.
Yeah, I agree. Which is why you have to be transparent, because like it's going to come out. So why make someone that you said that you're interested in fall into that? Just be clear. And it's a lot of work. I mean, I think that sometimes we say it, but keep in mind, you know, we're 7 years into this, so it takes work. So you don't just walk to a table and say, hey, my name is so-and-so and I'm this. Like, it just doesn't work that way.
Doesn't work
like, you got to build to that. And so you got to see where that person is at and can you trust them with everything. But when you decide that's someone that you want to spend your life with, you have to become transparent. You have to be okay with owning that and just say, yeah, but here's where I'm at, and I struggle with this, or I'm good at this, I'm not good at that. And I think, and it works out. It's a win-win. It really is. If you look at it, it's a win-win. Yeah, so.
I agree, 100%.